Have you ever wondered what the most lethal military force on the planet is? That secret unit that is only deployed when the risk is too high and the consequences are unimaginable? Imagine being in the middle of a conflict, surrounded by chaos, and suddenly, a shadow slips through the debris. You know it's there, but you can't see it. The next thing you know, everything has gone silent, and the enemy has vanished. What you just witnessed is the intervention of the most lethal special forces unit in the world. Are you ready to meet the true ghosts of the battlefield? The unit we now know as the most lethal in the world did not always hold that title. Its story begins in the depths of a conflict that marked the beginning of modern warfare. It was 1982, and the world was on the brink of nuclear war. Tensions between superpowers were at their peak, and the need for a force capable of acting with surgical precision became evident. It was in this context that a select group of soldiers was recruited to form a unit that would operate in the utmost secrecy. Their mission: to carry out operations that others would consider impossible. But what truly drove the creation of this unit? The answer lies in the need for a rapid and decisive response to emerging threats that could not be handled by conventional armies. During the Cold War, espionage, sabotage, and covert operations became the preferred weapons of the superpowers. Battles were no longer fought only on traditional battlefields. They were now fought in the shadows, where information was as valuable as ammunition. In this new type of warfare, the need arose for a force that could infiltrate enemy territory, gather crucial information, and, if necessary, eliminate high-value targets without leaving a trace. The selection of the first members of this unit was rigorous. Only the best of the best were considered, soldiers who had demonstrated exceptional combat ability, incredible mental endurance, and the capacity to make quick decisions under pressure. These men were subjected to extreme physical and mental tests, designed not only to measure their ability, but to push them to the limits of their capabilities. The initial training lasted for months, during which recruits were subjected to realistic combat simulations, survival exercises in extreme conditions, and psychological tests designed to break the weakest. Only a small group of the originals managed to pass all the tests and became the first generation of this lethal unit. The training of this unit is unlike anything most soldiers experience. From day one, recruits are pushed to their limits, both physically and mentally. The goal is simple: to forge warriors who can operate in any environment, under any circumstances, and who can overcome any challenge. A crucial part of the training is hand-to-hand combat. Here, it's not just about learning to fight, it's about learning to survive. Recruits are trained in a variety of martial arts, including Krav Maga, Jiu-Jitsu, and Muay Thai, in order to be able to neutralize any enemy, regardless of their size or strength. Additionally, they are taught to use any object around them as a potential weapon, from a simple pencil to a rock. But it's not just about brute strength. Intelligence is a vital part of the training. Soldiers are trained to think like their enemies, anticipate their movements, and exploit any weakness. This includes training in psychological warfare tactics, where they learn to manipulate the enemy's perception, creating distractions and sowing chaos in their ranks. Weapons training is equally rigorous. Every soldier becomes an expert in a wide range of weapons, from pistols and rifles to explosives and knives. But it's not just about shooting and forgetting. Recruits learn to maintain and repair their weapons in the field, ensuring they are never disarmed no matter what happens. Another crucial aspect of the training is survival. Recruits are taken to some of the most inhospitable places in the world, from scorching deserts to impenetrable jungles, and are left with the bare minimum to survive. Here, they learn to find water and food, build improvised shelters, and avoid detection by the enemy. This training is brutal but necessary, as many of their missions will take them to places where they cannot rely on traditional logistical support. Finally, there is psychological training. Here, recruits are subjected to extreme stress, both physical and emotional, designed to break the weakest. They are deprived of sleep, subjected to simulations of capture and interrogation, and faced with situations where they must make difficult decisions under pressure. All of this is to ensure that when they are in the field, they can remain calm and focused, no matter what is happening around them. A Special Forces unit is not defined only by its training, but by the missions it carries out. And the missions of this unit are the type of operations that change the course of history. From high-profile eliminations to impossible rescues, these operations have repeatedly demonstrated why this unit is considered the most lethal in the world. One of the most famous operations was the elimination of a terrorist leader who had been out of reach of all the world's intelligence agencies. This individual was responsible for several devastating attacks and had a highly trained group of bodyguards protecting him day and night. However, on a moonless night, this unit infiltrated his compound, neutralized his guards, and eliminated the target without anyone in the outside world knowing what had happened until it was too late. Another shocking example was a rescue operation in a war-torn country. A group of hostages had been captured by a brutal militia, and conventional forces could not intervene without risking the lives of the captives. That was when this unit was called into action. In a nighttime operation that involved extreme stealth and impeccable coordination, they managed to free the hostages and neutralize the militia without suffering a single casualty. But not all of their missions are so straightforward. Sometimes their work involves infiltrating enemy territory and obtaining crucial information without being detected. This requires a combination of espionage, stealth, and survival skills. One such mission involved infiltrating a highly protected underground complex where it was suspected that weapons of mass destruction were being developed. The operation was a success, and the information obtained allowed Allied forces to prevent an imminent catastrophe. In addition to elimination and rescue operations, this unit has also carried out sabotage missions that have destabilized entire governments and organizations. On one occasion, they managed to infiltrate a critical facility and sabotage the control systems, resulting in a total collapse of the enemy's operations. These types of missions require not only tactical skill, but also a deep knowledge of engineering and technology, demonstrating the versatility of these soldiers. We have come a long way in unraveling the mystery of the world's most lethal Special Forces unit. What truly makes them lethal is not just their skill with weapons or their ability to survive in extreme conditions. It is their unwavering determination, their commitment to the mission, and their ability to adapt and overcome any challenge. They are the true ghosts of the battlefield, and their legacy will live on long after today's wars have ended. So, the next time you think of Special Forces, remember that there is a unit somewhere in the world whose members are ready to do whatever it takes to protect us. And if you ever find yourself in a situation where all seems lost, remember, if you see them, it's already too late.